So the first official SSF2 beta tier list has finally been released. Now right off the bat, a lot of you are probably wondering what makes this tier list the considered official one, and I'll try and explain. First of all, no, this is not my tier list, and I actually disagree with some of the stuff on this tier list. Also, this is just going to be my opinions on the tier list. You don't have to agree with them, and that's fine. I haven't been nearly as active in tournaments in beta as I was in 9B, so I'm sure I'll be a little misinformed on a lot of this stuff, since I get a lot of my information from watching tournaments and hearing about them. So anyways, this is the tier list made by the SSF2 Backroom, which is a group of competitive players and a couple of developers who are the same people who worked on the tier list for 9B. If you want a full list of the people in the backroom, there's a link to the forums thread about the tier list in the description below. If you want to join the backroom, there's a whole application process you have to go through, but I'm getting a little bit off topic. The main point of this video is for me to share my opinions and thoughts on this new tier list created by the backroom. Anyways, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Tell me if you like the tier list, if you hate it, if you don't know what you think about it, tell me in the comments. Anyways, the tier list is split into 9 categories, which to me is sort of annoying since I prefer my tier list to be split into 5 tiers, but it's not that important. Anyways, starting off with the lowest category, we have the Stop Reading Here tier. So, like I talked about in my underplayed characters video, Yoshi got nerfed pretty hard from 9B and still has a small player base, which is what leads a lot of people to believe he's the worst in the game, and I could definitely see why. I really liked playing Yoshi in 9B and I really thought he had potential, but I'm not so sure in beta. Anyways, after Yoshi is Kirby. I actually play Kirby a good amount, so I might be a little bit biased here, but I actually think Kirby's getting a little bit underrated. People don't really realize or respect all of the stuff that Kirby has with his inhale, but even then, the more I play Kirby, the more I realize he does have some pretty big weaknesses. So I don't think he's super good, but I still feel like he sometimes gets a little bit underrated. So that ends the Stop Reading Here tier, and we're going to move up to the C- tier, where we start with Naruto. Naruto got some pretty significant nerfs from 9B, probably most notably being his Rasen Shuriken. He also has a pretty bad recovery, being one of the easiest to edgeguard. I still think his aerials work pretty well for comboing, and he has some pretty decent throws, so I could see him going up in the tier list or staying here. It really depends on if someone can really get some representation for him in tournament, since a lot of the people who played him in 9B stopped playing him in beta. Anyways, I don't want this video to end up being like 30 minutes long, so I'm going to move on. Next is Bomberman, who's pretty similar to Naruto. Got some nerfs, recovery is pretty easy to edgeguard, and low representation in tournaments. And that's a pretty common thing you'll notice with a lot of the lower characters, is that they usually have a lot less players than the top tiers tend to have. It's not always like that, but in general it tends to be that way. Next is Sandbag, a character who really is all about his combo game and kill power. However, he has a pretty weak ground game as well as a recovery that can end up killing him in certain situations. Also, the fact that he can't grab the ledge really hurts him and really hurts his recovery overall. However, his kill power is really strong, so I could definitely see him going up, but as of right now, this is a pretty fair spot to put him. After Sandbag is Chibi-Robo, a character who got some changes going into beta, but still lacks the reliable kill power he needs. At least from what I've seen, because really, I just never seem to see this guy. That about finishes off the C- tier, and next is the C+ tier, where we start off with everyone's favorite Bandana D. Man, I really wish Bandana D was better, because I really think he's a cool character, but his kill power is so low. But yeah, I can really see why he's on the lower side of this list, so hopefully he gets some buffs soon. After Bandana D is Sonic, who has some really flashy combos and cool tools, but also gets beat out pretty hard by any characters with disjoints and projectiles, so his matchups aren't that good with the top tiers. And again, not too much tournament representation from as far as I'm aware. Black Mage is the next character in C+, and he's actually a character with really good tournament results and representation. I'm not completely sure why he's this low. I'm guessing it's just the case of everyone above him being better and not him being bad. He still has some really good tools, and I'm not completely sure on this one and why he's so low. Next is Peach, and I really think that Peach has some strong tools. But I'm not a Peach player, and I haven't played her enough to really know for sure, so I guess her placement's fine for now. Luffy's after her, and I could kind of see why. Luffy can do some super flashy combos and setups, but also because he extends his hurtboxes as well, he can definitely be beaten out really hard in neutral by just throwing out disjoints and big hitboxes. After C+, where we start getting to the considered mid-tier characters, where we start off with Zero Suit Samus. She got some pretty big nerfs for her recovery, which is one of her strongest tools in 9B, but she also has a really super strong nair, which helps her a lot, so I could definitely see her being around here since they kind of balance each other out. Anyways, after her is Sora. I really like Sora in beta, and I could definitely see him having potential to be better than this. With Sora's buffs in 1.0.2, I could certainly see him going up in the tier list at least a couple of spots. All it takes is one player who really masters him and starts showing off how good Sora can be. After Sora is Pac-Man, who is a really weird case, because Pac-Man is actually not amazing by himself, but with his incredible advanced text and glitches, he's actually a very strong character. He also has amazing tournament results and player base, so I can definitely see why he's over Sora. Now we move on to Ness, and Ness being above both Pac-Man and Sora to me is a little bit of a stretch. Ness has some good strength, but at the same time, also Sora and Pac-Man just seem better to me. Maybe you guys might disagree, I don't know. We also got Game & Watch, and I don't really have much to say about him. He has some good combo tools and a really strong dare, but not much else other than that. Next is Jigglypuff, who's actually a really strong character in beta, but just loses a lot of matchups. Since the meta tends to lean towards characters with disjoints and projectiles, all of the top tier characters have really good matchups against her. And to finish off this tier is Wario. I probably underrate Wario too much because I actually don't think he's as good as people think. I know when beta first came out, people were saying he was top 10, and I just have no idea why. Maybe some of you guys can tell me why, because I actually don't know too much on Wario. Now we're moving on to the mid-high section, which is B+, where we have Zelda. I don't have too much to say about her, still has her strong KO power and great recovery. Her speed's a little bit low, but I could definitely see her going up a couple of spots where she is right now. Next is Pikachu, and I used to think Pikachu was actually really bad, but I've had a change of mind recently. Pikachu has some amazing tools with Thunder and Quick Attack, and I could definitely see him being here. After Pikachu is Luigi, who I used to think was going to be one of the best in the game, but ended up falling short. Not really sure where I'd place Luigi now. He's in a really weird spot, and he's kinda good, but not as quite as good as the characters above him. Next is Bowser, who's not bad, but you can definitely get beaten out by rushdown characters, and when Bowser's getting beat out, he's a lot worse. That's probably the main issue that's holding him back and putting him in this tier. And to finish off B+ is Falcon, and Falcon in 9B was probably my most underrated character, and I still think he's a little bit underrated in beta. His main issue really is he has a lot of bad matchups with characters in the top tiers, especially characters who can beat out his neutral game and really just combo him hard. Anyways, after B+ is A-, where they put Mario. Mario is pretty strong in this build, and I could definitely agree with him being a high tier. Not much to say on him. Anyways, after him is DK, which is where I'm a little bit confused. I know there's a reasoning on why DK is this high, but I don't really know the exact reasoning. So hopefully one of you guys can explain it to me, because I definitely did not expect DK to be up here. After DK is Link, and I don't know about this one either. Link's good, and he has really good projectiles, but I also think Mario is better than Link, and maybe I'm wrong though. After Link is Pit, and Pit definitely has amazing killing power with his up air and his side B. Not too sure how well he does in tournaments, I don't really know how much representation he gets, but he definitely belongs in this area. And now we're going to start the A tier, where we get to the really high tier characters. First off is Mirth, a really strong character with great disjoints and combo game. He's a little bit worse than his 9B form, but I've seen a lot of people like Wario and King Pon do pretty good with him. I still think he's pretty decent, and I can even see him going one spot higher, because above Mirth is Sheik, and I think Sheik's a little bit overrated. I still think Sheik is good, yes, but I think Mirth should be above her, at least from what I've seen. After them is Ichigo, who has incredible speed in beta compared to 9B, as well as an amazing combo game, and while not the best KO power, definitely has enough to be a high tier character. After Ichigo is Isaac, and I can definitely agree with this one. Isaac is amazing in this game, has great KO power with his Vine up smash, and he has incredible tools in neutral with his side B and neutral B. However, his recovery can definitely be edge guarded if you know what you're doing, so that's probably his main problem. After Isaac is Samus, and again like I said, you'll definitely see most of these characters either have really good projectiles or great disjoints, since that's how the meta seems to be leaning right now. Samus of course has both, with her forward air having a great disjointed hitbox and her amazing charge shot in this game, killing really early. After Samus is Lloyd, I didn't really know how good Lloyd was until I played against a good Lloyd, and then I realized how strong he actually was. So yeah, I could definitely see Lloyd being pretty good. Now we're getting to the top tiers, the best of the best being A+ and S. Starting off A+ is Falco, who's also my main. He's incredibly fun to play because you can absolutely destroy someone and combo them to death, but you can also get thrown off stage and killed in one move. So it's a trade-off. I think he's in a pretty good place because he can definitely be killed really early, but he can also kill someone pretty early also. After him is Tails, and that's kind of weird. I know a few Tails players doing pretty well in tournaments, but I also just don't think he's top 5 in the game. Not completely sure on this one. I'd probably put him a little bit lower, but there's definitely likely a reason behind it. After Tails is Mega Man. He has great projectiles, amazing recovery, and probably one of the best neutrals in the game. Not sure how well he does in tournaments, but what I've seen in Mega Man, he seems pretty strong. After him is Meta Knight, a character who's always been considered pretty good. He's fast, has a great disjoint, a pretty good recovery, and overall not a bad character. And moving on to the final tier is S tier, which is where they have Goku and they have Fox. Fox is pretty amazing in this game. He's probably one of the best tournament results if I'm not mistaken. He also has overall a great character, not much to say there. I definitely think he's one of the best. And they also put after him Goku, who the backroom considered the best character in the game. He has some of the best KO power in the game with Kaioken and Down Smash. His recovery is great, Kai Blast is super strong, and his movement's pretty good, so I can kinda see why he's considered the best. Anyways, that completes the tier list. Is it the best? No, definitely not, but I also didn't expect it to be. Because, well, it's the first tier list, just like 9B. First tier lists tend to be a learning process. No tier list will be perfect, and it's going to be impossible to please everyone. I definitely don't agree with everything on this tier list, trust me, I really don't. So maybe I'll end up doing my own tier list video if you guys are interested in that. Tell me in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching.